Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Just Roll It Already. I'm Daryl,
I'm Jeremiah.
And I'm John.
and welcome to Tales from the Couch, our horror stories. So today we have a few stories of our own to tell. Jeremiah, why don't you kick us off with this one?
Alright. I've been saving this story for a rainy day. Or night, and it's not raining. But regardless, I am going to tell a story about why you should never give too much power to a blood-hungry, power-hungry child. I had a group, and the DM at the time was not me. I believe it was my friend Noel. I cannot remember. But he had a friend who, he was probably like 3 or 4 years younger than us. I was about 15 at the time. This kid was probably, 10 or 11. He made a paladin named Puddles. Now, Puddles, who was a very favored person of the DM, was given more levels than we were, just to help him, like D&D. So, like, oh, D&D, it's awesome. Here, you have all this power and stuff. So, we're all level 4. Not Puddles. Puddles was level 7. Puddles also got an enchanted +1 sword, as well as some awesome full plate. And so,
Sammy, get away from there. Come here, Sammy.
Puddles, we could not tell Puddles the Paladin no. However, we didn't
What
want
do you mean
to.
I can't slay that family of people?
However, at first it was cool. Like, it was just cookies and cream. Like, Puddles is like,
He got
yeah.
his thirst for power like every
He-
good
he-
little boy does.
He's like, yeah, let's save these innocents. Let's do that. I'm like, yeah, this guy's awesome.
It's
He's
like, wow, this saving innocence thing is lame. Let's go slaughter them.
And then, eventually it's like, let's burn down that village. What? The village elder insulted me. Wait, Puddles? Dude, you're lawful. He's like, I am, but I am a paladin of this high order and therefore cannot be insulted by my position and office. What? So as we walked out of the remains of the burned village, we were questioning whether or not this paladin was trustworthy. And it was insane that there was nothing we could do. Like, there was 4 of us and Puddles, so it's 5 people. But because he was level 7, and because of his gear, he was like a CR 10 or 11. We really couldn't, like,
Fight him.
Puddles, no. And really, it became the crusade of Puddles' bloody conquest. Like, Puddles became the feared name, and like we could not. There was no one among us who would stand. None of us would take the charge against him, because they know the first one would be foolhardy and cut down by Puddles the Paladin. And it was just this blood tyrannical rule of this character who eventually became a blackguard. He's like, you know what? Paladin's cool and all, but I like the sound of this blackguard. He's all like evil. Yeah, let's do that.
Let's be evil together.
And so he slowly descended into madness. And I say this as a cautionary tale to DMs and to players, to never give another player just a little bit of a heads up on other players, because they will abuse it to the full extent that they can.
Yeah, that is a pretty bad one. I think I'll go next.
All right.
Now, this is not a story that I experienced, but it is a story. Well, I wasn't the one. Well, I guess you could call me experienced. I was sitting on the sidelines of a game with my friend Ryan, and this is when I was living far away from everyone else and away from He Who Shall Not Be Gained. It was great. I mean, like 4 groups every single week, separate groups. Well, my buddy Ryan was in 2 of them. So we somehow, you can say we were gaming too much. Like, well, he decided, let's go for every single weekday for gaming. Let's put Thursday on the board now, because we had every other day filled up except our weekends, because we would like to keep those free.
And work.
Yeah, like work.
Wow.
And we were both in college. We could do whatever we wanted. And so we entered this group, like friend of a friend group kind of thing. Like, yeah, it's perfect concoction of awesomeness. Kind of. And so we entered this group, and we go in there and everything, and my buddy Ryan got there about 20 minutes before I did. I had problems finding where it was, and I was like, finally found the darn place. It was like this guy's house I never met and everything, so I got like, oh, I'll just bring some drinks, a little bit of snacks, little peace offerings, find out how things going. I walk in, one of the biggest arguments I have ever seen about gaming, and this is not like just a simple thing.
Like people are shouting.
Yeah, they were shouting, like like they were about to. If Mountain Dew bottles and Coke bottles could shatter,
They would.
They would, and they would have them at like bar style at each other.
Oh, they'd have freaking, bar shiv.
Yeah, it's
Break the Mountain Dew bottle and start stabbing people.
Yeah, if they could shatter those things, they would, and they would use them trying to stab each other. That's how heated it was. And so I'm like holding my bag of food and everything, and I'm thinking like, good thing I have my receipt because man, this stuff isn't cheap. So I look at it, and I'm listening into the argument. I was like thinking like I didn't want to say, hey, what's going on, everybody? And then they all turned to me and gave me that death glare. I sat in the sidelines, walked patiently into the room, sat down on the couch, and I listened. The GM wanted an entry fee.
What?
Yes, he wanted a group entry fee, and it wasn't just like money. No, it was books. He would refuse to play any game unless the party of people would give him a book of his choice.
Wait.
Whoa.
Hold on. Like,
Whoa!
we're talking like freaking gaming books, right?
Yeah, gaming books.
That are like $40 to $60 a piece.
Yep. For
Hey,
for
we're-
him.
some games
Now
it's
he
like-
wanted each person to do this?
Yes, each person.
Wow.
Ow!
Whoa. Hello.
Yep. Hello, indeed. I looked at it and I was listening to that because I was like right in the middle of it. And Ryan is a passionate gamer. I mean, I seen his wall. His wall is like heavenly chimes go from it. He loves his books. He will never part for them for anything. He doesn't care if the game sucks. He loves them.
It's also the DM's choice, though. He could pick like a $90 rule book
Yes,
if you.
yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Whoa.
But he was fighting. He's like sitting there screaming at him, telling him like, "This is not gaming. Is gaming is about having fun with friends, not about getting what you want." And I wouldn't dare spend a penny on a person like you little money grubber. And this guy starts going off on this guy, and it's just absolutely insane. I'm like watching this whole thing, and I'm horrified. I'm thinking like, I have never seen this guy. This guy's
Wait, this is the whole argument. It's because of the game books.
not just the game books, but more in the lines. This guy had the gall of saying, "You can't game with me because you're not paying me." And it was horrible. I'm sitting there.
madness.
It is madness. And I'm sitting there. I forgot about the whole thing. I'm watching. I was like, dude, this is better than like action movies.
You know what I'd say when I walked in? Who the is this guy?
Yeah. Wow. Who
And-
do you think you are?
But we were the odd guys out. This is a group of 7 people, including GM. We were number 8 and 9, and we walk right in. And then we find out this group is that kind of group, the elitist group, the one that won't let anyone in unless you pay the entry fee.
That's not elitist. I think it's elitist, but that's just dick. That's just douchebag.
Yeah,
He's
well,
the
this-
professional party clown.
Yeah, but I sit there and I look at him. He's like so mad. He was so angry he could not drive. I had to drive him to his house, get on the bus, ride all the way back to the house, get in my car and go home. And along the entire way of driving him home, he would not stop about this. He wouldn't stop. He just sat there and he was like going off, and he sat there and said, "I've seen some serious crap about gaming my time, but my goodness, takes the cake. I just can't stand this stuff. This is gonna." Ryan, calm down. You're gonna punch your
Oh,
dashboard, and,
yeah.
and the airbag's gonna pop out again, which he's done before in the past.
I
And-
would do the same. Wow. This is the
I would
most
have ripped out my airbag and started eating it in rage.
This is the most horrifying Tales from the Couch I've heard. It's not like in-game shenanigans. This is
It's
like
out of game.
Serious.
This is real
Real
life
world
horror. Like, wow.
These are
Distorted
This guy
D&D.
gets the gall.
yeah,
D&D
and
extortion.
I didn't have to say a single thing because he said it all for me. I just smiled and we left, and I told him, and he says, "Whatever, when you change your mind, you'll come crawling back." And I look at
What?
Yeah. I turn
No.
around as
See
he's
the
out the
dick.
door and everything. I look at the guy, and then this is the only thing I said. It's like, yeah, that's not going to happen. And that's the last thing I said, and I left. And that's pretty much the entirety of it. I mean, I did see the guy one time when I went to a local gaming store, and he was bragging about how good of a GM he was, and it made me giggle. But
Is there
Oh,
like a
jeez.
refund? Like, you know what? I'm not really liking this session. Can I get like a refund? Or can you like pay in half? Like you cut the book in half. like you rip it in half. Like here's this half of the book. You get the other half when the job's finished.
I would have
Like,
gave
it's-
him a PDF. I would have ripped.
Oh god,
Wow.
just, here's your book, and it's like a thumbstick. It's like, so you get
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
No, he wanted
hey.
physical. He wanted physical copies, so I couldn't.
No,
really-
you're getting a book. Sorry, I'm giving you a book. There you go. All you want is a book. Go f yourself. Go f yourself.
Wow. But God,
Okay.
that is holy. Wow. That is. Oh my God.
That is a bad story.
That is horrifying.
That I've been saving that bombshell for a while, but that one is one of the worst things I've seen in gaming at all. I mean, it's not all about stories sometimes. Like, yeah, stories are fun and all, but sometimes there's real crap you got to run across, and those people exist.
You know, I've known like oh bloody hell, what's his name? He's the guy who's basically replaced Gygax.
Monty Cook.
No. The guy actually at D&D. He goes to PAX and he does the.
The actual inherent.
The guy who actually now owns the franchise. I know who
What
you're
I'm saying
talking
is
about.
like him, right? Him. I can see paying him to DM your game
Yeah, I paid him to DM my game.
because he's really good at DMing. I've
And I
watched
bet
a
you
lot of
if
his.
but if you asked him to DM a game and you paid him, he'd probably give you a free book
Yeah.
of his game.
Because he's
because
nice.
because he's nice, but I don't remember. God, that's gonna bug me for a while. John's gonna look it up, but yeah, that's pretty much what you do when you see those kind of people. I've just learned like,
Wow.
yeah,
That is horror.
yeah, your guys' expressions when I told you this group, and then you guys are thinking I'm gonna say something, and then suddenly I say, and he wanted entry fee, and you both of your guys' eyes widen right up, and it was just beautiful.
What's more horrifying is the entry fee is not like $5. It's oddly specifically RPG books, but as we all know, some RPG books can run up to like 90, Warhammer, or like that's not RPG, but like a game book like Warhammer. Their rule books are like $80.
Don't they got role playing games too?
Oh yeah, they do. But
Those are like $70
exactly like that's not cheap.
Okay,
Like, that's-
Eclipse Phase is a $50 book. Pathfinder core rule book $50.
Yeah.
Shadow of Starin, almost $50.
What happens if you pay him and he's like, yeah, you know what? I don't really like you as a player, so you're gonna have to leave my game.
Well,
do I get a refund later?
I don't know. It's hard to say. That's
madness.
I know. I mean, you guys are you guys are nerd raging right now, and you weren't even
God.
witnessing it.
Wow, that is just wonky. Bloody hell.
Yeah. Okay, John. Now it's your turn to bat because let's see if you can top mine.
I can't top that. There's no way you can top some GM asking for fucking money from
His players.
his players, specifically if they're expensive books.
Extorting his players.
But I can tell you the maximum airspeed of an unladen frog.
Oh no, not him.
I was gonna say European
I don't.
swallow, but
I don't think I've mentioned this before. But I played a Rifts game. Rifts games are fun.
yeah.
My DM was very, very because I was new to Rifts. He's very not lax with the rules, but he was lenient on the books I could use. He said, "Okay, just pick from categories in the books, and then just kind of limit yourself." So I kind of went limited within reason. So I created Slappy the Frog.
Oh god.
Slappy the Frog was basically an awakened animal, in the sense that he had man fists and a frog body. Well, not like huge man fists, but he was a 5-pound frog with miniaturized man fists. So think Battletoads.
I thought he had his hands were the size of men's normal hands.
Well, they're freaking giant battle frog fists. Think battle frogs.
All right, I love Battle Frogs. Yeah.
And now you give him
Battletoads, you
Or
mean?
it's Battletoads, sir.
Yeah, sorry.
Battletoads.
Yeah, I may have been drinking a little bit. The point is, I get drunk on podcasts. Anyway, no, the point is, he also wielded a big bore 12-gauge shotgun, which weighed more than him. However, he had the strength to throw buses because he was also super powered. He also had the ability to emanate laser beams out his face hole. Just lasers. Just
Fire
it's
my
energy
laser
emissions.
frog.
Fire my laser frog. Anyway, so now you put him in context with the other characters. He was actually really weak because he had mine had hypnotic suggestion. So it's like I'm just a frog, and my whole backstory was that I was like
Hypnotoad.
the kind of and I'm just a frog. It's like I want to believe that, so I'll believe it. So as long as they wanted to believe it, they'll just believe it. But the point is, my whole backstory was that I was a Vietnam veteran from a parallel universe in which they created some sort of genetic mutated frog to infiltrate the swamps. And I was wielding shotgun in Vietnam, so I always carried a bottle of whiskey, and I had I always carried like freaking battle gear, so just your flak jacket and combat belt and the water skin because I have a frog. I have to have water always, and a bottle of whiskey and a big bore shotgun. And I wore a red beret, because I was airborne as well. There you go. Also, I had the power Adhesion, which from the superhero book basically allows you to stick to any surface. And also spatial warping or spatial distortion, which basically allowed me to bend space. So I could bend space until I hit the ground safely. But back to the issue of maximum airspeed of an unladen frog. The other characters were much more powerful. Like one could basically throw a tank if he wanted to because he was just that powerful. His sword could basically cleave through anything, just because of how much mega damage it did. Now I'm gonna do this riff. So mega damage is like 1 mega damage is 100 structure damage, and normal human being has like 50 structural hit points. So one mega damage explodes them. So it's like I did mega damage with my fists. So I could punch somebody and explode them.
Fist of death.
Fist of death.
Okay. Get
So
back to the.
Now we're on a train going approximately eastbound at roughly the speed of sound. So I have this guy who's on there. He could jump off and just tuck and roll. However, I'm a frog. There's no way of landing or surviving. Because while this train is moving, the players had to calculate exactly what velocity I would hit the ground with and how much damage that would do. And then you had to calculate the strength amount of how much weight you could throw and at what angle you'd throw it in order to safely land this frog back on the earth. Well, there was no way. So if he threw me at his maximum strength, I would hit orbit. The point is, the maximum airspeed velocity of an end-laden frog was something like 127 meters per second, squared accelerating, because I'd hit orbit. Now,
if the velocity didn't kill you,
it does not kill me because of my hit points. You also have to factor in that, because like hitting that much air is like hitting a wall.
Of course.
But no, frog is like 127 meters per second, squared, because I accelerated. Until like such point that it was like a bell curve, and then it was like I was going like 400 meters per second, and then it just started slowing down.
And then orbit.
Well, I didn't hit orbit. He threw me backwards from the train as I was moving forward, so we had to calculate the
speed. The
you know,
speed.
the vectors?
The vector.
Yeah.
Some of vectors and some
counterbalancing the forward motion with a opposite motion.
exactly.
Yeah.
So it turns out all motion's relative, so I just got thrown in that direction at the same rate anyway, while going that way. So it was like I slowed down slightly, but I still landed safely. Only taking I think one or like that was like 3 mega damage.
It's only 3.
Yeah.
But didn't you also use your warp?
Yes,
power
to safely kind of descend. But the duration, based on the rounds and how rounds are executed, you can only do it so many times before I hit the ground.
Gosh.
Yeah, unladen frog travels about 127 meters per second.
That's
being thrown by a superhuman.
This is where math,
Wrong.
where people say oh, RPGs are filled with that. This is where you would do heavy. This is where the heavy math does come from. Those stories of oh, these games are only for people who like math. And it's really these.
That's
stories.
riffs. That's riffs right there.
Yeah.
I hate math. Oh gosh.
Don't you ever say that again.
So
I do not like math or continuity.
I
Wow.
dislike you.
So
Okay.
from tyrannical paladins to extorting DMs to the
flying
mathematics of
a flying
frog
frog.
going through the air. Tail
Gosh.
from the couch.
Yeah, I think that's going to do it for this one. Like, comment, subscribe below. If you have any stories that you want to share with us, let us know. Video response or any way you see fit, or even down in the comments below. Anyways, I'm Daryl.
I'm Jeremiah.
And I'm John. And remember, just roll already at gmail.com.